Hey, gents. Hey, I'm knocking these out. Now, this stuff, you know what's amazing? One thing came to mind and I wrote it down because I was driving at the light. And then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 other things came to mind. And this one came to mind because my mind went back on my, I think my literature teacher in 10th grade. And she'd asked a ton of questions. And the story I had written. What was it? Anyway, the gist of it is, she was like, you don't provide enough details. And then I told her, I don't know what I told her, but she was like, the reader doesn't know what you see in your head. So you have got to explain to the reader what's in your head. They can't see in your head, so you can't assume that they know. So from that day, whenever I explain myself to someone, I'm very specific about everything, very detailed, so as not to cause confusion. And I think I went on a job interview, and the lady had told that to someone that, oh, you can't get confused with him because he breaks everything down. And yes, mom, that's what I was taught by my teacher, and I want you gentlemen to bear that in mind. No one can see what's in your head. And this is why I stress education and stress reading. So you can learn the language, how it works, and how to use it. So you can explain yourself, explain your thoughts to the point that the person can see what's in your head. You're going to learn to be specific, gentlemen. You're going to learn to be detailed. And this also came from L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah, I got into it because back in '88, I saw everyone reading this book with a volcano erupting on it. I was wondering what that was. But it just so happened that one day, a gentleman who was reading it, he and I were trying to cross the road at the same time. And I asked him, hey, what is that about? And he was like, oh, that's Dianetics. And I said, what is that? So anyway, we didn't have time, so I went to the bookstore to check it out. I was reading Napoleon Hill and Ralph Waldo Emerson at the time. And they seemed more interesting than L. Ron Hubbard. So I didn't really read it until college. Excuse me. Reading Dianetics led me to Scientology. Now, I wasn't really into Scientology, but there's something I learned from L. Ron Hubbard with communication. And he drew a picture to explain. If you read his books, you will notice that some words that don't show up in the average vocabulary, he has a definition of it underneath at the bottom of the page. And his purpose is, if you don't understand the word, you may misinterpret his message. And he had an illustration for that, like two men talking. The person talking had three shapes in his mind. And he said, you have not communicated until the person you're talking to sees exactly in their mind what is in your mind. And my mind went on my teacher. And that came to mind this afternoon. So I'm talking about it now that I have free time and no one's bothering me while I'm working. Be specific, gentlemen. So don't assume people know what you're talking about or thinking about. And that's the reason why you need to take your education seriously and you need to read. So you can learn to master the language. All right, gents. Good night.